Venkatesh, you can start. Sorry for inconvenience. Thank you.
Fine, thank you. I'll share my screen. Yes. Now, someone had issue of storage location. Let me go to SPRO first. Under SPRO, go to enterprise structure. Under enterprise structure, go to definition. Here, under material management, you will have an option called maintain storage location. If you execute this and put your plan, for example, my plan is 2001, I'll put my 2001 here, and you can have n number of entries here. Click on a new entries and put your entries. If you want to add some other storage location, then you can do it here. Okay, any more questions?
How to edit current location, storage location?
Yeah, that's what you can go here, click on maintain storage location, put your plan and execute. Then it will take you to here. Then you can edit what all details you want. If you want to have different addresses for the storage location, you can have different addresses. If you want to add some other storage location, you can add it here. If you want to delete and create, you can delete. You can select the lines which you want to delete. Click on this delete option. Save and go back and create the new storage locations.
Okay.
Hello, Venkatesh. Hello.
Yes, Vignesh.
Where to put address in that storage location? Address field.
Here, select the line which you want to put the address. Double click on this and click on new entries. Then put your address here. Then you can enter the complete details. For example, if I want to put the address here, and click enter, then it will take you to this tab, and you can have the complete address of your storage location here.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Hello, Venkatesh. Sachin here. You told that purchase organization is not a part of enterprise structure, right?
So purchase organization. No, purchase organization is a part of enterprise structure. Purchasing group is not a part of enterprise structure.
Okay, got it.
And if you guys don't have any questions, then we'll start.
Hi, Venkatesh.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have one question. Like when we create a company code, right?
Yes.
And if we create a company where there we need to add the address, right?
Yes.
If the address, like if I'm entering current address from Maharashtra, Pune, and when I copy the details from company code 2000 to company code, whatever I have created, so will there be anything, mismatch due to the address thing?
No, it will not be the mismatch. If you copied from 2000, for example, 1000 is copied from 2000, select this 1000 and double click on this and go to this section. Here you can have your complete address.
So I need to copy from 2000 or 1000?
2000, copy it from 2000. This is created by some other guy. You can copy it from 2000. You can copy it from this 2000.
Okay. Yeah, I will be copying from 2000 only. So if the address is different, that doesn't do anything in that, right?
No, that doesn't make difference in the demo system. In the business scenario, where you work in the real scenario, real business scenario, you need to put the address of the company where the company is situated. So you can click on the company code, then you need to go to this option to change the address. Then you can change the complete address here.
Okay, so if I have created my company code, let's say apart from 2000, anything else, so I need to change it in 2005, my company address, right?
Yes, you need to change it for 2005.
Okay, and okay, got it. Okay. And during the copying also, when we go to the address tab, there also we need to change the address, right?
Yes, you need to change the address. Post copying, first you save the data, then come inside and change the addresses.
Yeah. After copying from 2000 to whatever company code I create. So when the company code is created, and when I go into that company code and then in address section, I can change the address, right?
Yes, you can change the address there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, this is Siddesh. How to edit that plant details and how to check that, means if you have defined that plants, how to check that it's coming or not?
Coming or not, you check it here, right, in the logistic general.
I clicked that on the, but it's not coming. So means copy delete check plant is there, no option.
If you not check here, you need to check it here. Check in define plant. you will find the list of plants, go to position and put your plant which is created. So it will show the plant here.
Okay. Then what's the use of that option? Means
This option is used to just copy the data from the other plant.
Other plants.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hi Venkatesh, Pankaj here.
Yeah, Pankaj.
Yeah, after doing some transaction, means after creating some PO, some GRNs, no, is the system is allowing us to update the plant details, address details, those things?
It will get updated, but once the PO is created, that PO address cannot be changed. From the next PO, it will get affected.
Okay, fine. No, but my question is, for existing PO also it is reflecting, or how it is like?
For existing PO, it will not reflect. From the next PO, which you are going to create after the changes in the background, that PO will get affected.
Okay.
The previous PO which you created, that will be the same.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you. And as of now, I'll mute everyone. We'll start today's session. And if you have any doubts, I'll unmute everyone for 20 minutes or half an hour once. So you can ask your questions there. Okay. We'll start today's session. Today's session will be the master data. Master data. Now, what is master data? If anyone knows, you can put what is the meaning of master data in the chat box so that I can understand how many of you know what is master data. Fine, let me tell it. Okay, master data is nothing but what all the end users are using in the front end. For example, end users. What all the information end users are able to see and end users are able to use the data. That data is nothing but the master data. Okay. In system, there are two types of data. One is the master data, and other one is the transaction data. Transaction data. Now, what is this master data and what is this transaction data? Master data is the data which you create. You need to create in the front end. The complete data which you're going to create in the front end is nothing but the master data. For example, you can take an example of material, vendor, or you're going to create customer. SDO person will create the customer. So these all are the master data. You can take source list, PIR. So all these are master data. And I'll explain what all these terms in sometimes. Don't get confused as of now. And what is this transaction data? Transaction data is nothing but the complete configuration. For example, in the last week, you created the company code, you created the plant, and the plant you had store location, and you had purchase organization. All these are the configuration data as per standard language. But in SAP language, we call them as a transaction data. Right? So now we understood what is the difference between master data and transaction data. And the main difference between master data and transaction data is master data cannot be transferred from any system to any system. For example, from one client to other client. From client to client. That can be done. We have other scenario. We'll speak regarding that later. But if you want to transfer the master data from client to client, directly you cannot transfer the master data from client to client. But transaction data can be transferred from client to client using the transport request. Transport request. What is transport request? Now, when you create the enterprise structure, whenever you create a company code or plant, a transport request got generated. You created your own transport request for each of your company codes. So the data which all you do the configuration in the background, that will get saved in this transport request. Using this transport request ID, we are going to transfer the data from one system to other system or from one client to other client. Okay, that is the main difference between master data and the transaction data. Now, for example, if you take an example of Amazon. For example, in Amazon, whenever you log into Amazon, you see the products. So this product is your master data. What all you see when you open the product, you see the product code. You'll be able to see the description. You'll be able to see the specification of the material, the price of the material. All these are the master data. Whatever you're going to see in the front end, those all are the master data. And taking example of transaction data, for example, you purchase this product and you found that this product is damaged or faulty. So you want to return this material, or you want to return this product to the Amazon guy. So what you do is you raise a complaint and reverse the product to the Amazon. So that process of return process you cannot see in the Amazon website. It will be done in the background. Thus, that background work, you can consider it as a transaction data. The front end part which you are going to see in Amazon website, that is your master data. Right? This is the difference between master data and the transaction data. Right? And so, whenever we speak about master data, whenever we speak regarding the master data, for example, let's take material. Whenever you have the requirement, you are going to create this material in the system, in the SAP system. For example, your company is introducing a new product. For example, Amazon is introducing a new product. So they want that product to be shown in their website. For that, you need to create the material first. To create the material, what all the information you require? You require the material code. You need the description. You need the unit of measure. So all these are the components which you require to create a material in the system. The unit of measure can be kg, it can be boxes, it can be pieces. That completely depends on the business to business. Right? And now let's speak about the master data. Now we'll speak completely regarding the master data. Master data is common to all the modules. If you speak about MM, in MM you're going to create material master. You're going to create material. If you go to SD, that is sales and distribution module, so you will have your sales order. Even the material master also will be the master data for them. So each and every module in the system will have a master data. Okay. Now let's see what are the different types of master data. The first type of master data is material master. What is this material master? For example, let me take an example of Amazon again. In Amazon, as soon as you log into the Amazon, you see multiple products. You see nearly 1,000 to 2,000 material at a time. How those materials you are able to see? So what the end user has done, they have created the material, each and every material in a single material in each time, and that material you are able to see in the website. So the bulk material, for example, 1,000 material, you are going to see the system. That material are called as a material master. Right? And the second type of material master data is the supplier master, or you can call it as a vendor master. I'll take the questions later. Note down your questions, I'll take it later. Okay. The next one is the supplier master. What is a supplier master? Supplier, you can call it a supplier or you can call it as a vendor. Vendor is nothing but, you can take an example of a shopkeeper. A shopkeeper can be a supplier for you because you are going to buy with him, so he is supplying the goods to you. That is a supplier. So whenever you are purchasing a material from Amazon, there you will see some distributors. Whenever you open a material, So each and every material will be sold by some or other distributor. You can see that sold by this organization or sold by this enterprise. So those are your suppliers. Okay, the bulk of the same way, the bulk of suppliers you find in Amazon, those are your supplier master. Okay, the third type of master data is the source list. Source list. What is a source list? As of now, I'll just let you know what is the definition of source list. We'll have a separate discussion on the source list. Let me tell you what is source list now. Source list is nothing but the source of supply. For example, you have material M1. Who is going to supply this material? For example, you have 2 to 3 vendors supplying this material, V1, V2, V3. So these 3 vendors are eligible to supply this material to you. So those vendors are the source of your vendors. That is called as a source list in the SAP system. And the fourth type is purchase info record. What is this purchase info record? Purchase info record is nothing but it will store the data of different types of purchases. If you have material M1, when the first time you're going to purchase the material with V1, second time you're going to purchase with V2, and third time you're going to purchase with V3. So all these details from which vendor you're going to purchase, at what price you're going to purchase, all this data is going to store in the purchase info record. That is purchase info record. The fifth type of master data is the service master. As we have material master, you have bulk of material which you're able to see in Amazon. And if you go to the service website, for example, you are let me take an example of Urban Clap. If you log into the Urban Clap website, you will be able to see some of the services which they provide. They do AC maintenance and they do different types of maintenance or services. So all those services also you are going to create in a system in a bulk. That is called as a service master. Okay. So the last type of master data is the quota. Now SAP system has stopped using quota. Quota is nothing but, for example, you are going to purchase a material M1 of 100 pieces. You can configure in the system saying that I have a vendor V1 and vendor V2. I am going to provide 50% for this vendor and 50% for this vendor. So you can take quota as a reservation. You can mention it as a reservation. You are reserving 50% for this vendor and 50% for this vendor. So these are the types of master data which are in the SAP system. If you are going to learn MM, the first thing what you need to know is you need to know what are the master data and what are the different types of master data. So now today we'll be discussing completely regarding the material master. For each of the master data, we have different sessions. Next weekend we'll have a discussion on supplier or vendors. Next week, post that week, we'll have a discussion on source list and purchase info record, and we'll have and so on. Each and every master data we'll be discussing for each week. Right now, let me discuss material master, which is a part of master data, which is a type of master data. So let's discuss about material master. This is the main topic for today. In material master, we are going to differentiate into 2 levels. One is front end, one is back end. Front end is the job of the end user, and back end is nothing but job of the consultant. Front end, you will be able to see how we need to create the material. While creating a material, what all criteria you are going to see and what all information you are going to fill to create a material. That is called the front end part of a material master. And the back end is nothing but to fill that data. Who is creating that data in the background? The consultant will create that data in the back end of the system. That is nothing but the back end. Who is doing it? The consultants are doing it. Right? So coming back to master tech, material master. In material master, are different types. There are different types of material master available in SAP system, which means, for example, material master. Let me take. To create a material master, first thing what you need to understand is you need to understand what is material type and material group. Material group. These are the two major categories which you need to understand what is material master. So let me explain what is material type and what is material group. Let me give an example. So with that example, you will be able to understand much better. Let me take an example of fruits. You have under materials, you have fruits, you have vegetables, you have spices. So all these are material types. This is your material, this is your material, and this is your material. All these are, this is first type, this is second type, and this is third type. All fruits can be considered as one material type. All vegetables can be considered as one material type. And once all the spices can be considered as the material type. So now understood what is material type. Now let's speak what is material group. Material group will come under material type. It is a subdivision of material type. How? You have purchase organization. Under purchase organization, you have purchasing group. In the same way, under material type, you have material group. Let me tell you how. This is a fruits. This is one type of material type. Under fruits, you have different types of fruits. You have apple, you have orange, you have papaya. So these are your material groups. Okay. Under vegetable, if you take, you have carrot, you have radish, and you have cucumber. All these are different material groups. Right? Under spices, you have cummins, you have pepper, and you have some other spices. So these are considered as material group. First thing, to understand the material master, you need to understand what is a material type and what is a material group. So let me repeat it again. The different types of material which you see in the market are the material type. Under that material type, what all categories you have? You have under fruits, you have apple, orange, papaya. Under vegetable, you have carrot, radish, cucumber. So this will become your material group. Right? Now, we understood what is material group also. Now, this is a standard process. Now let's speak in SAP how it works. This is normal standard market material types. Now let's speak regarding SAP. In SAP, you have different material types, standard material types, which you can see in the system. And if you want, for example, if you have a business of automobile, under the automobile, all the iron materials can come under one material group. All the mechanical items can come under one group. All the electric items can come under one group. So these all are the material types which you can see in the SAP. Now let me speak about material type, standard material types, which are available in SAP system. So what are all the material types available in SAP? The first thing what you can see is the raw material. If you speak completely about the production, manufacturing, and purchase and sale, if your company is doing production, if your company is doing manufacturing, if your company is buying, or if your company is selling, this is the main work which the company does. So if you want to do this certain job in your company, you need to have the materials which you're going to buy or which you're going to sell. So that material types, what all material types you have in your system, or you can define in your system. For example, if you go to pharma chemical company, you may have different types of medicines. For example, one sector you can maintain it for fever. For fever, you have nearly 2 to 3 medicines. You can mention it as crocin or dolo. That can be one material type, and dolo and crocin can be your material group. The same way, if you take a manufacturing industry, you will have raw material. That is one material type. And the second one is semi-finished material. semi-finished material. And one more thing, as in enterprise structure we saw, for company code you have a code defined in a system. For example, my company code is 2000. So you have defined a code. For purchase organization, you have different code. In the same way, when you are going to see the material types in the system, you will have different codes in the system. For example, for raw material, you can see it as an ROH. Wherever you see ROH, you need to understand that material is a raw material. And wherever you see HALB, these are semi-finished material. These are the standard material types which are provided by the SAP system. And the third one you can consider as finished material. That can be mentioned as FERT. And the fourth one will be your trading materials. That can be mentioned as HAWA. I'll explain all these terminologies. First, I define all the material types. Next one will be the operating supplies. Operating supplies that can be defined as HIBE. And the next one will be the spare parts. That can be defined as ERSA. And you have services. That can be defined as SERV. And next one will be non-value-added material. That can be defined as UNBW. And non-stock material. Non-stock material. That can be defined as NLAG. And there are multiple material types which are defined by the SAP system. You can see several material types which are created in the system or SAP has provided as a standard. So, but these material types are mainly used in the SAP system. Now, let me explain each and every material type. For example, now let's see what is raw material. Raw material are something, if you see in the business scenario, you're going to procure the raw material. For example, your company is manufacturing bike. So to manufacture a bike, you need the metal, you need fiber, and you need tires. So this metal, you're going to melt the metal and you're going to design the bike part. So this metal is considered as a raw material. You can consider the raw materials which you are going to buy and converting them into the manufacturing process. You're going to buy the raw material and converting that raw material into a semi-finished material or parts of your bike using the manufacturing team. That is nothing but the raw material. Now, what is your semi-finished material? Think that you have purchased raw material. Once you have purchased the raw material goes to the different stages. For example, it may go for turning or it may go for drilling. Post that gets converted to the part of your bike. So that will become your semi-finished material. For example, you are melting this material and making the model of your bike. For example, this is your model of the bike. This is some part which you are going to install in your bike. So this is not your selling part. You are going to install this in your bike. Still the assembly is not done. So this part is considered as a semi-finished material. This is not finished material yet. Understood? That is semi-finished material. And if you see what is finished material, all this semi-finished material, you are going to assemble it and the final product will be your bike. So that is your finished material. This finished material, you can sell this material. Right? You cannot sell this raw material. You cannot sell this semi-finished material. Just you can purchase these materials. But once the material is completed and finished, we call it as a finished material. That finished material you can sell to the customers. Okay. Now let's see what is trading material. Trading material is something that company will, for example, think that your company is dealing with a furniture. So you procure the furniture from the vendor, from different vendors you procure the furnitures, and furniture will not have any labeling or furniture will not define that this company has produced this furniture. For example, if you take a sofa, whenever you procure a sofa, you see the company logo attached with the sofa. So who is selling the material, he needs to buy that material from some other guy. So he is going to buy that sofa from the third party vendor, and he is going to attach his label, and he is going to sell it. And he will do the packaging also for the material. So which all you are going to do the packaging work, you are going to buy the material and do the packaging work and labeling work. Labeling work. Whenever you're doing these two particular work for that material and selling that material is called as a trading material. Right? And what is an operating supplies? Operating supplies are nothing but your stationery items. These all are your stationery items. For example, you can buy tissue, or you can buy pencil, or you can buy pantry items, your canteen items, your gloves. All these are your operating supplies, which you are not going to sell, which you are going to use for your own, for your company purpose. Those are your operating supplies. And what are the spare parts? For example, if I take the same example of bike, whenever you sell this bike for the customer, for example, he faced or he had an accident and bike spare part has been damaged, or his headlight has been damaged. So he need to replace the headlight. So he will come to your company and surrender his bike to you, and you will provide the spare parts. You will have the spare parts. For example, his headlight is broken, so you will provide the spare parts to the bike for the service person. So that what all replacement you are doing for this bike, that replacement parts are called as a spare parts. Okay, and the service. The same example. The bike will, for whenever you buy a bike, for each 3 months or for each 3,000 kilometers, you will do the service. What you do? You will do the oil change. This oil is a spare part which you are going to buy it from the company, and he is replacing the oil into your bike. That replacing is nothing but service. If I take an example of mobile, if your mobile screen is damaged, the screen which you are going to buy is a spare parts, and replacing the screen is nothing but your service. Okay, and these are two important material types: non-valuated and non-stock. Till now, we have seen the material. All these material are getting manufactured in the in-house or manufactured in the vendor place, and you will have the inventory in every material type till now, till what we have seen, till the spare parts. So if you buy the raw material, you will have the inventory. If you buy semi-finished material, you will have the inventory. If you do the finished material, you will have the inventory. For all these material types, you will have the inventory. And you will have, if you have the inventory, you will have the value also. Right? If you have one piece of oil, that is your inventory. And that one piece price is nearly 100 rupees. That is your value. Right? Whenever you have material in your warehouse, you will have inventory as well as the value or the price of that material. Let me take an example, you'll understand much better. For example, let's say you're purchasing something. You're purchasing something. When you purchase one piece of material, it's 100 rupees. And if you purchase 5 pieces, then it's 500 rupees. Right? And when you purchase this material, well, let's call it as an M1, material M1. When you purchase this, you are going to store in your storage location called SL01. This is my storage location. Under my plan, under my 2000, I have my storage location. When I procure this material, I am going to store this material in my warehouse. Okay, so when I store, I have the inventory. Right? What is inventory? The stock is nothing but your inventory. And if you sell this material, you are going to get some amount. That is your value. Now you have stock, and for that stock, you have some value. Right? But if you see, one second, if you see this non-valuated material, you will have the stock of the material. For example, you are purchasing some material or think that your material has been damaged. So you are not going to sell that material. You have the stock, but that stock is doesn't have any value because it is damaged. So that stock which you're holding is called as a non-valuated stock or non-valuated material. Those materials are created under non-valuated material. And what is non-stock material? Non-stock material is nothing but you are going to procure something. You are going to procure some, for example, you are going to procure some services. You will not have the stock, but you will have the value. You are going to pay the vendor. So that is considered as non-stock value. And whenever you see non-valuated material, that non-valuated material, you will not have the value of the material, you will have the stock. Here, you will have the stock, but here you will not have the stock. Here, if you don't have you will have the amount here, but you will not have the amount here. That is valuated and non-valuated. Right? These are the different material types which are used in the standard SAP system. If business wants to create a different material types, in most of the scenarios, business use these material types itself. If business wants to create some other material types which he is going to procure, then he will be able to create that material types in the system. Okay, let me quickly take a pause here. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, I have given access to unmute yourself.
Hi, Venkatesh.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted one thing. Can you explain this non-valuated and non-stock mart? And this is first question. And the second is that you said the spare parts are basically the replacement part, right? If you took an example of bike, we say that if anything got damaged due to accident, we have. And in service plant and spare parts, sorry. So basically, they both are almost similar. In just service part, we are providing the service, you mean, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In the service, you are just providing the service, but in spare parts, you're going to provide the material to them. You're selling something there. In service, you're not selling anything to them, just you're providing service to them.
So we are in service, basically, we are providing assistant for the spare parts.
Yes.
If I'm correct.
Yes, you're providing assistance, but that's free of cost, right? If service guy is assisting you to buy spare parts, you're not charging anything to that. He's not charging anything to that.
In spare parts.
Yes, in spare parts. Not in spare parts, in service. In spare parts, you're going to buy the spare parts. You will have the stock in your hand. Whenever you're going to buy the spare parts, you will have stock in your hand. For example, your headlight has been damaged. You're going to buy the headlight. So you will have that headlight in your hand. Whenever you are going and doing the service for the bike, will you have the service in your hand? You will not have the service in your hand. You will have just the bill in your hand. Right?
Okay.
This is the difference between the spare parts and service. And coming to non-valuated and valuated material, the stock, for example, you have purchased some material from the vendor and it has been damaged. Whenever the unloading happens in your warehouse, the material got damaged. That is not the vendor mistake, that is your mistake. So what happens is, the material got damaged, that material will be considered as non-valuated material. You will have the stock in your hand, but that is no use of selling, or you cannot sell that material. So that can be kept at non-valuated material. And what is this non-stock material is nothing but you will not have any stock, but you are going to pay the vendor for that. For example, you can take example of transportation charges. Transportation charges, you will not have any stock in your hand, but you are paying the transportation charges to the vendor. That can be taken as a non-stock material.
Okay, so you said that in non-valuated mart that there is damage due to unloading, right? So if we never use that part because of its damage thing. So then what is the fun if we keep that part in our inventory then?
Yeah, if you have the material, you cannot directly throw the material outside, right? You need to keep it in your stock, or you need to move the material to the scrap, right?
Okay, scrapping. Okay,
Yes,
got it.
that scrapping material is nothing but your non-valuated material.
Okay.
You cannot directly throw the material outside because you have purchased that material. You need to have some or other. You need to show we have purchased this material for this amount. So we will move this material to the scrapping, and we will show that we have material in the scrap, but that cannot be used. So we have mentioned that material as a non-valuated material.
Okay, and can you explain this non-stock material with an example?
Okay, non-stock material is nothing but, for example, you are purchasing some material from the vendor, and he is charging with the transportation charge. For example, you have a vendor in Chennai and you are in Bangalore. Your plant is in Bangalore. So the vendor is transporting the material from Chennai to Bangalore. So what your business asks you that I don't want to pay charges from other GL account or from other account. I need to have a transportation material to be created in the system as non-stock. So transportation material, you will pay the vendor, right? You will pay the amount to the vendor for transportation, but you will not have the stock in your hand. That is
Okay.
nothing but non-stock material.
So basically the stock that we will be getting on vendor when we are requiring it, in short.
Yes.
Okay.
But Venkatesh, as per my idea, that transportation comes under service, no?
No, transportation will not come under service. Transportation will come under the other criteria called you need to create it in the system as an type itself. That completely depends on the business. So SAP has provided an option to create that as a non-stock material. If you want to create it as a material type, you want to pay it showing as a material, then you can create the transportation charges as your non-stock material. Or if the business does not want to pay the transportation charges using this non-stock material, then it can be paid through the other GL account. We'll assign other GL account to that. For GL account instance, you will assign other bank account to that transportation charges, and every transportation charges will get debited from that bank account.
Venkatesh sir, even, excuse me, can I ask first?
Venkatesh, can you please give one more example for non-stock material? Apart from transport, do you have any other example?
Okay, you can take an insurance charges. You can take the packaging charges. All those will come under non-stock material.
It is mandatory that we need to, all these charges has to come under non-stock material?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
it is mandatory?
It is not mandatory. It's based on the business. If a business asks you that I want to have a transportation as a material in my system, then you are going to create that transportation as a non-stock material in your system.
Okay. Or else, do you have any other option? Can we just update this?
Yes, we have another
charges?
option. Yes, we have another option to do that. The other option is you are going to define the transportation charges as your transaction key, and you are going to assign a new bank account to that. Whenever the system sees the insurance charges or transportation charges, the amount will get debited from that account. We'll see that regarding this GL account, how the amount is getting paid if it is not created as material. You'll see that completely in an automatic account determination, which is a huge topic. So there you'll understand how you're going to pay the amount to the vendor if it is not a material. There you'll understand how you're going to pay the material if it when vendor if it is not a material. That I cannot explain in a single line because it is a huge topic.
Venkatesh, can you please re-explain trading material?
Trading material is nothing but, for example, you are purchasing some material and you are, let me take an example of Amazon. Under Amazon, there are some distributors, right? Those distributors are, Amazon is supplying the material to the distributor, and distributor is packing that material and delivering to the customers, right?
Okay.
So that packaging, you are getting the material from Amazon and you are just packing the material and sending the material to the customer. That is a trading.
Okay. But thank you.
Arun is here.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, what I thought is, giving assistance from our side to another one is a service, and getting assistance from another to ourselves. I think it will be a non-stock material. Am I right?
Getting advice.
Getting assistance. You told that transport example. No, we get assistance from that. Who is vendor or supplier is no. We get assistance from him, no?
Yes.
Is it will be a non-stock material?
Yeah, it can be a non-stock material.
Yeah, what I thought is, getting assistance from another. I think we are a plant. Getting assistance from another plant to our plant, or getting assistance from another thing to our plant, it will be a non-stock material. Is it, sir?
Yeah, understand one thing. In a simple way, we'll go into deeper in some time whenever we create some material of non-stock material. Understand in a simple way that where you are going to pay the vendor, but you are not getting the stock for that amount. That is non-stock material.
Okay, sir. Okay.
In the non-bilateral material, you are getting the material, but you are not that my material does not have any value. That is non-valued material.
Okay.
As of now, understand in a simple way. In coming topics, we will get covered this completely because non-stock material will be doing a non-inventory purchase. So you will understand much better there. We'll go into detail there.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay. Okay.
Sir, so these two are means opposite, right? In one have value but no stock, other has stock but no value, right?
Yes, both are opposite.
Okay.
Fine.
Hello. Sir, a consumer material can come under non-stock material.
Which one?
Consumer material. Consumer.
Consumable.
Yes.
No, if you are consuming that material, that will be operating supplies.
But consumer has no stock, but we are paying to vendor.
But you're consuming the material from the vendor, right?
It depends upon the scenario of the business actually.
You are consuming the material from the vendor, so it will come under the operating supplies. You are consuming the material for your own. That is a different material type called operating supplies. When you don't get any stock from the vendor, then it will come as a non-stock material.
But consumer also no stock, na?
Consumer. You're speaking about consumer or you're speaking about consumable?
Consumable material. Consumable.
Can you type in the chat box? I'm not able to hear you properly.
Okay.
So Venkat sir.
Yes, Sandeep.
Sir, in business scenario, we are going to use the same kind of a material types, or do we have an option of customization based on the business?
You can customize based on the business requirement.
Yeah.
That is called as a configuration. We can create our own material types. I'll show you how to create a new material types or your own material types, and use that material type to create your material.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, actually, you told that raw material is there, no? And after the thing that raw material is consumed, think raw material is one type. You told that metal is attached to the one thing we got the inventory of 1 kg of metal.
Okay.
It is the 1 kg is also attached to the bike,
Okay.
Then is it will be a operating supplier or raw material, sir?
It will be your semi-finished material. You are going to convert that raw material into another part, right? For example, you are using a material, you are using a metal, and that metal is getting converted into your chassis, or it is getting converted into your engine. So that will be your semi-finished material.
Okay, when we sell the bike, the material also will not be available in our plant, no?
Yeah, it will not be available. As well as you use the raw material and get the semi-finished material, your raw material will get consumed there.
Oh, we need to book the consumption, no?
Yes, you need to book the consumption. That everything consumption, how the raw material is getting minus and you're getting semi-finished material, everything we'll see in further. So just understand what is the material types. As of now, just understand what is the material types which are provided by the SAP.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. As of now, I'll mute everyone and I'll continue. Okay. Now we have seen different material types, and now let's see for which are material types, what are the data you need to be have. For example, let me take first what we saw. First we saw raw material. As for all the material which we saw, all the raw material types which we saw in the previous slide, for all those you will have the material code, the material description, and you will have some basic data. For example, you will have unit of measure, you will have what is a gross weight, what is a net weight. All these things are mandatory for all the material types. And let me show you one thing in the system. If I go to create a material, let me take one material. Let me take this material. So these all are the views of the material. So let me explain what is its views. For example, let me go one by one. Let me go through this basic view. In this basic view, you will see all the information which are standard information. For example, if you see unit of measure, material group, what is the gross weight, you will see the basic data. And if you go to the purchasing data, if you're going to purchase that material from someone, then you will see this data. Okay. One second. I think this material is not created with this. Let me take some other material. Okay. Here. Okay, let me quickly create a material. So before I create a material, let me show you some T codes, which are mandatory T codes, which you need to know. So let me speak about T codes. T codes is nothing but the transaction codes. The transaction codes. For example, to create a company, you went into the SPRO. Under SPRO, you went into the different nodes. So each and every node which you saw there will have a transaction code. You can directly use the transaction code and go directly to create a plant. You can directly create a purchase organization without using this SPRO. You can have the different T. There are some different T codes which are standard in this SAP system. Those T codes can be used, and the plant can be created using the T codes. So to create the material, the system, you have the T code. To create it is MM01. These are the basic T codes which you need to remember, and this is to create. And you have MM02 to change. You have created the material and you need to change some information in that material. So you can use MM02 and change that material. And to display the material, we have T code MM03. You can just display the material here. You cannot change or you cannot do any changes in the material. So these are the different material. Sorry, these are the different T codes which is used to create the material in the system. Right? Now let me go to the system and create a material. While creating material, I'll explain what are the fields in a material. So to create a material, what I said, you need to go to the transaction code MM01. This is a T code which you can use to create the material. If I put MM01 here and click on enter, this screen will get appeared. Now here, there is a material number. Each and every material which is getting created in the system will have a material number. And what is this industry sector? This industry sector is nothing but this material belongs to which industry. For example, if you're going to create a metal, then it will come under manufacturing industry. If you're going to create some tablet as a material, then it will come under pharmaceutical. So depends completely on the which industry. If you're going to create some vegetable or fruits, that will come under food and beverages, FMCG. So you can create multiple industry sector, and based on your business, if your business is food industry, then you need to create an industry sector called FMCG. So whenever you create a material, you can select this industry. As of now, I'll select this mechanical engineering, and here you will see the material types. So these all are the material types which are provided with the system for as standard. As we saw, for spare parts, it is ERSA. For finished product, it is FPRT. And for raw material, you will see ROH. ROH is for raw material. And for service, you will see SCRV. SCRV is for service. And if you see for this for non-valued material. So each and every material which we saw now, with material types which we saw now, are all defined here. Okay. Now let me select ROH. I'm going to create a raw material. And if you click enter, it will ask you to select the views. Now, what is the use of these views? For example, under this basic data, you are going to just enter the basic data of that material. What is the unit of measure for which you are going to purchase, and what is the material group, and what is the weight of that material, gross weight, net weight, and what is the weight unit. All those things you are going to define it here. And this sales organization will completely fall under the sales and distribution team. So as of now, we'll not discuss this. Whenever we use this views, we'll come and discuss regarding this. And the main field which MM guys use is the purchasing view. Under this purchasing view, what you do is you define for which plant you're going to purchase this material. Right? And you will completely define the purchasing values here. What are the purchasing identifications or purchasing information? You will fill it here. And these are your MRP. MRP is nothing but material requirement planning. As of now, we will not be seeing this MRP also. Whenever we go to the session called MRP, we'll completely see this session. Okay. And here you are going to define for which plant you are going to create the material. As I said, we have enterprise structure. Under enterprise structure, under one company code, you have different plants. So I will say that in one plant, I'm going to save all the mechanical raw material. In one plant, I'm going to hold all the semi-finished material. So whenever you're creating a material, you need to define in which plant and which storage location you're going to save this material. So these fields are very important to create. Then you can have accounting views. Accounting view is used to define at what price you're going to purchase the material and at what price, in which pricing section you're going to buy this, and under which valuation class you're going to define this material. Valuation class is nothing but under which bank account you're going to pay this material when you buy the material from the vendor. That all those things you will define it here. Complete accounting department or finance details you will fill it here, and the details of sorry, the details of plants and storage location you're going to fill it here, and the complete purchasing details you're going to fill in this section, and the complete basic data or the information of the material, the description of the material, the specification of the material you're going to fill it here. So as of now, I'll select these views and I click on OK. Sorry. And now system is asking for which plant you are going to create this material. So I have a plants, and even you have created your own plants. For example, my plant is 2001. It's in Mumbai, and 2002, someone has deleted it. Okay, let me take 2001 as my plant. I'll select 2001 as my plant. Okay, under 2001, I have different storage locations. So I will select my storage location, where I'm going to store the material. Under 2001, I have raw material, I have semi-finished material, and my finished material. What I'm creating here, I'm creating a raw material. So I will save in this storage location. So this is the reason why you are going to create the plant, and under plant you have these storage locations. This is the reason we asked you to create the enterprise structure. So now you will understand what is the use of the enterprise structure. Now you are entering your plant as 2001. Now, as soon as you enter the 2001 plant, what system will check? System will see under which company code this plant is assigned. So this material will fall under that company code. Right? So system is defining, it is asking only the plant. Based on this plant, system will automatically pick what is the company code assigned in the background for this plant. Okay, I'll click OK now. Now system took me in. Now what system is asking? System has automatically defined this material number. How this system is automatically defining the material number based on the number ranges. So we'll see how the number ranges are defined and on which base the system is picking this number automatically from the background. So that is a completely and consistent job that we'll be seeing tomorrow, how the number ranges are defined in the system. And if you see this indicator, if you see this box, and under inside the box, if you have a tick, this means the system is saying these are the mandatory fields. So if you see, this is a mandatory field and this is a mandatory field in this screen. So these all are the fields. In SAP language, we call these all as a fields. So now what is your description? Your description is a mandatory field. Now let's discuss what are the fields which we see here. Now let's go and enter the description. For example, think that we are going to buy a metal of matte finish. I'm mentioning the description here. And unit of measure. What is unit of measure? You're going to buy this metal in kg, or you're going to buy this material on pieces based on carton. That you need to define. So whenever you are going to create a PO, system will pick unit of measure from here. Right? As of now, I will select kg because metal can be purchased based on kg. So I'll define it as a kg. Now, what is your material type? Your material type is raw material. Under raw material, what you're going to purchase? You have different material groups here. If you want to create other material groups, you can create other material groups also. As of now, I'll pick this raw material. Or if you want material group to be selected as metal, you can select here to create the values, and you can create a material group as metal, and you can select it. As of now, I'll not create it because tomorrow we'll create all the values which we are seeing here. Then we'll create other material tomorrow. So let me select raw material here. And what is this old material number? For example, let me take my pen. Once again. Oh shit. Let me pause the recording for a second. Okay. Now, what is this old material? Let me explain what is this old material. For example, you have a system of Navision, Microsoft Navision. So what you are going to do? Microsoft is getting converted their software to SAP. So they have a list of materials. They have nearly 100 materials which are defined as raw 1, raw 2, and so on. So what your business is asking, whenever I create a material, this material you create in SAP. But in SAP, you cannot define their number which is created. For example, you have raw 1, raw 2, raw 3. So this can be done. But if you have a material called 10045 and 10089, but numbers are not in sequence. Those are random numbers. So you cannot define these random numbers in the SAP system, because whenever you create a material, now the material is 40. Whenever you create a new material, the material code will be 41. So in SAP, it will be in sequence. So in the normal scenario, in normal other softwares, it will not be in a sequence. So, or it would be in a sequence, but in the middle, which all materials are not used, they would have deleted. So whenever you're transferring this data to the SAP system data, what business asks you, I want to see my old material number, which I was in the Microsoft Navision. So in this field, you can enter the old material number. For example, this is 10045. So this 10045 material is created as 40 in SAP system. So whenever the end user or the business sees this old material number, he will understand, okay, this material is created as 40 in the SAP system. That is the use of this material number. Okay, and this material status. What is status? You are going to define the material status. If it is obsolete, if you're going not to, you are using this material or you want to delete this material, you can select this obsolete so that it will not be used for the purchasing. Or if it is in designing phase, then you can create it as a design. So this will define what is the material status as of now, right? And these all are not important for as of now for MM consultants. So here, what is this gross weight? So you are creating a material called metal. So you're going to define what is the gross weight of the material. You are defined in a kg. So as of now, if you don't define the gross weight also, no problem. But if you define the unit of measure as each, then you need to mention what is the gross weight of that material. For example, you're going to buy a material of semi-finished material. You're going to buy an engine part that is a semi-finished material. So you need to define what is the gross weight of that material and what is the net weight. You know what is the difference between gross weight and net weight, right? Before packing it is gross weight and after packing it is net weight. I think it is vice versa. And what is the weight unit? You're going to maintain what is the weight unit. You're going to maintain as a kg or you're going to maintain as a ton. That unit you can mention here. For example, as of now, I will maintain 1 kg. Okay. Whenever I'm purchasing this metal, the weight will be 1 kg for 1 piece. So if you want to define the volume, you can define the volume also. So, and if you want to define the dimension, you can define the dimension. For example, you can say that metal has 5 mm diameter. So you can mention that 5 mm diameter here. So these are the dimension sections which you're going to fill. And let me go to basic data 2 now. These are the mandatory fields which need to be filled by the MM consultant. What is the mandatory fields? One is description, one is the base unit of measure, one is the material group. And this is an optional. If business requires you, then you need to enter it. And the gross weight and the net weight and the weight unit. Okay, let me go to basic data 2. In basic data 2, there is no much important for MM consultants. You can define the product group type if you want. If your business requires, you can define it as a product group. What is a product group you are going to purchase or you're going to create? Okay, and one second, system is loading. Okay, and what is the next view which we was speaking regarding the purchasing field? Let's go to purchasing field now. Under purchasing, all the basic data whichever you create in the basic data 1 will flow in all the tabs which are it is available here. If you go to MRP, the basic data will get triggered there. So the basic data is important. You see this basic data, we have created the material code, description, the plant, for which plant you're going to create, and what is the base unit of measure of this material and material group of this material. All these details are filled in the basic data. All those are getting fetched into purchasing data also. Now here you have a purchasing group also. Now you can define here which purchasing group can create POs for this material. For example, if I select this 001, only this 001 purchasing group can create the PO for this material. Okay, and as of now, batch management is not important because batch management we have a different session where we will discuss completely regarding the batch management and automatic PO. If you want to create the PO automatic for this material, you have MRP views here. Based on this MRP, you can create the automatic PO. So we'll speak regarding automatic PO in MRP session. Just now let's understand how to create a basic material. Okay, and this is a GR processing time. What is a GR processing time? Let me explain that. For example, you have placed a material M1 with the vendor V1 and he has supplied the material to your warehouse. For example, SMG1. The material has come here and unloading is happening. Unloading is happening. So now material is in your storage location. GR is nothing but the goods receipt. We saw this goods receipt in the P2P cycle. What is goods receipt? As soon as you get the material to your storage location, you are going to in your material in your store location, or keep your material in your store location. So what is the time? As soon as you receive the material from the vendor, in how many days? It is 1 day or 2 days. In how many days the GR should happen? That you are going to define it here. So let me put it as in 1 day. As soon as I receive the material, within 1 day, I need to see the material stock in my warehouse. So I put 1 day. So now let me go to the next view which you are speaking, that is plant data storage. Under this plant data storage, what are the things important are, if you're going to issue the material for the production, so you have brought this material in kg, in the base unit of kg. If you want to give the material in a piece wise, or if you want to give the material in carton boxes, if you're going to pack that material and give the carton boxes, or you're going to keep the material in the bag and provide the bag to them, so you can define it here. For example, let me select, you brought it for kg, and you're going to give that material for the production in meter. Sorry, you cannot give in meter, you can give in gram. Let me select it is gram. So I'll select gram here. So you are buying the material in kgs, but you are giving the material to the production people in gram wise, so that you can define different unit of measure here based on the issue. Okay, and what are the important fields here? Storage bin is not important as of now. And this shelf life data, if you are procuring, or if you're creating a pharmaceutical material, for example, you're creating a medicines, so you're going to define here in how many days the material is going to expire. You're going to define the expiry date here, so that as soon as the expiry date has been crossed, system will not allow to issue the goods, or system will not allow to use that material for any other purpose. So this shelf life data is used here. If I go to plant data 2, in plant data 2, nothing is important here, and I'll go to accounting view as of now. In accounting view, accounting 1 view, you will be able to see the general valuation data. These all fields are defined by the finance control. Right? These all are defined by the finance and controlling team. So what is the main thing which MM guys needs to do is they need to fill the valuation class. This is the valuation class. Now let me give you a brief regarding the valuation class. Regarding valuation class, we have a separate discussion on automatic account determination. They will understand what is valuation class. For example, let me give a brief now. What is valuation class? Now, what is valuation class in the sense? For example, you have different bank accounts. For example, you have bank account in SBI, in HDFC, in ICICI. So, what your business decides that whenever I'm purchasing the raw material, I need to pay the vendor from SBI account. Whenever I'm buying a semi-finished material, I need to pay from HDFC. Whenever I'm buying the material of finished, then I need to pay it from, whenever I'm buying the finished material, I need to pay it through ICICI. So this classification is done based on the valuation class. As of now, think that valuation class is nothing but your bank accounts. Okay, now I'll select some of the bank account here. Think that this is my SBI account, and I'm going to, whenever I buy this material from the vendor, I'm going to pay from this bank account. Okay, and what this price control? This is important for MM. What is price control? Can someone stop writing on the screen? Okay, let me take what is price control. Let me discuss what is price control. For example, in SAP system, we have two price control. One is standard and one is moving average price. Now, if you check here in the price control, you will have standard and moving average price. What is the difference between standard and moving average price? Whenever you are buying a material, for 100 rupees, every time vendor will supply you the material for 100 rupees, sir. He will not increase or he will not decrease the price. This is a standard price. So you will select the price control as yes, and in the standard price you will mention it as 100. So system will identify that whenever you are going to procure this material, you are going to buy it for only 100 rupees. You are not going to buy more than that. And what is moving average price? Moving average price is whenever you are buying a material, your vendor is providing 100 rupees at once, 95 rupees at once, 105 rupees at once, and 110 rupees at once. He is supplying the goods with different prices. So that prices you will define in the moving average price. How this is calculated is whenever you are checking the average price, it will calculate all of these prices, it will add all these prices, and it will find the average. It will divide by 4, so it will provide the average price to you. That is a moving average price. Understood what is price control? Under price control, you have two types. One is standard and moving average price. Whenever you are buying a material for the same price for all the lots, then it is defined as a standard. And whenever you are buying a material for different prices of different purchase orders, then it is mentioned as a moving average price. Okay. Now, as of now, I will select it as standard. Then I will provide the price as 100 rupees. Okay. And I'll go to accounting to you. In accounting 2, nothing is important. If you have any taxes for that material, you can define the taxes here. And I'll save this material. As soon as you save, the material is created. Now, what is the material created? It is 40. Now think that you need to change the material, or you have entered the old material number as wrong in the material which you created. So to change that, you can go to M02, put 40 here as a material number, click on enter. So system will ask you again which all fields you need to edit. So let me select these entries. Or think that I'm just editing basic data. So I'll go in, and now business asks me that I don't want to procure the material in the kg wise. I want to procure the material in gram wise. So search what is a unit of measure for gram. So G is your gram. Now click on enter. Unit of measure G used as alternate unit. Okay. So if you want to change any of the information, you can come here and change the information. As unit of measure is fixed as kg now, you cannot change kg. If you want to add another unit of measure, you need to go to additional data and add it here. Under this unit of measure, you can add it. Let the system get loaded. Here, the gram is also added. So system is not taking the gram now. Okay. And if you want to change the material group, you can change it. Or if you want to change the material, old material number, you can change it. So what all material, whenever the material is created, and you want to change some particular value in the material. So you can come to MM02 transaction and change the values here. Okay. And to just display the material, watching what I created, you can go to MM03 and put the material number and click on enter. So select the view which you want to see so that it will display you the material. So this is the basic material, how you're going to create the basic material based on the important views which we saw. Now, let's see what all views we'll be using for different material types. Till now, any questions when I created the material? I'll access you to unmute yourself so that you can unmute yourself and ask your questions. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Venkatesh, while creating the material, we are mentioning the price also for the some rate contract price, those things, right? Is it possible to put the duration for this month to for January to June month around 100 rupees, from June to December 200 rupees like that?
No, that cannot be done as of now. Because you have the period option, but system will not recommend to enter that values in the period. If you see here, whenever I go to M02 to change the material, in accounting view, I have this period. For this period, I want to have different price, and for this period, I want to have different price. So system will not allow you to change the price for each and every period.
Okay.
So you need to have a fixed amount here, so that if you want to change the price while buying, whenever you create a PO, at that time you can change the price.
Okay, fine.
Hello.
Hello. Yes,
Arvind here. Like in while creating the raw material, so is it in mandatory field like categories we need to fill like is there any mandatory category like accounting and basic information on like how many categories we need to fill in that while creating the raw material?
Categories in sense, what are the fields which are mandatory you need to create, right?
Yes.
Yes. That can be defined by you itself. You have a configuration for that called field selection.
Okay.
So you can decide based on your business which all information you need to have to be filled mandatory and which all information is optional for you. For example, think that this project stock VC is not used by business at any time. So if you want to absolute this, or if this field should not be visible, that can also be done in the backend configuration.
Okay.
We'll see the backend configuration completely tomorrow, but what are the backend configuration which we are going to see is we are going to create the material type on our own. We are going to create the material group on our own. We are defining the number ranges for which material type. For example, if I create a material now, what is the number in this system picked? It picked as 14. Material as 40. Now you can define which number should get started for your material. For example, I decided that whenever I create a raw material, my material number range should be RM01, RM02. So that you can define based on your configuration. And the next thing which you're going to configure is the field selection. Field selection is nothing but which field is mandatory and which field is optional, or which field I need to do it. I need to hide the field, or which field I need to just display. That can be done in the field selection. So these all are the configuration which we are going to see tomorrow. And we are going to create our own material type and use that material type and create the material. And we are going to define our number ranges. And whenever you create the material using your material type which we created, for example, if you create ZROH as your material type, so you can define this number ranges for this material type. So whenever you use this material type and create the material, your number will not be 40, 41, it will be RM01, RM02. That can be defined in the background. So these are the configuration part which you're going to see tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Venkatesh, you told that we can create a customized code, right?
Yes.
Can we give any code? Can we start with alphabets and numeric, or is it any specification that we need to only standard?
Yeah, it can be alphabet, it can be alphanumeric also. But what SAP suggests is, except the standard, whenever you're creating custom material type or custom any data which you're going to create in the system, use Z or Y as your prefix.
Z.
Yes, Z or Y as your prefix. For example, if you're creating a
Y, Z or Y?
Yes, Z or Y is a business standard. SAP standard, SAP has fixed that. For example, ROH is your standard which SAP has provided. Think that you don't want to use this ROH, you want to have a custom material type for your own company, so you can create ZROH or YROH. Right? But whenever you're creating a custom, you need to create using Z or Y.
Is there any difference between Z and Y?
No, nothing.
Or is it the same?
It is same. You can use any Z or Y. Both are same.
You have selected, you have taken that material number as 40, and then that word number you have given word number, no?
Yes, word number I have given.
It's a number exported from the different software or what?
No.
I didn't get.
Okay. Let me explain that. For example, you get a SAP project. You need to implement an SAP in some company. For example, take Vodafone. You are going to install SAP in Vodafone. Now, Vodafone has their different kinds of materials. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the material. For example, these are the material which they have. But in some cases, they have deleted this material. They are not using this material, so they will delete this material. So now what are the material they have? 1, 3, 5, and 6. So these are not in the sequence. So what you do is in SAP, whenever you create these materials, the material will get created 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So these both are different. For example, this and this is different, but both the materials are same. But the number range or the number which is created is different. So your business will ask you that I want to see my old material number because I am familiar with my material number. With the description, I am not familiar. If I see the material number, I understand what is this material. So you will define this old material number which is in the other system. For example, he is using Tally or he is using Oracle. In that system, his material numbers are this. So you need to mention those material number as your old material number, so that business can understand, okay, my 10045 material is created as 40 in SAP system. Both the materials are same.
Okay.
And info record we have to mention in the material creation level, right?
Sorry?
That info record.
No, info record is a separate concept. You have a different P code for that. You will not define that info record in material master. After creating a material master, you will maintain the info record in other P code.
Okay, fine.
Info record is completely dependent on the material and the vendor. You need to club the material and vendor there.
Hi Venkatesh, I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
Like you have created a material 40, right?
Hmm.
So you said that you used an old material number so that if the supplier or the vendor who is using the SAP or whatever system he is using, he will use that, he will locate this part using that old material number, right?
Yes, if you see that material number, okay, my old material number is 0.045. Okay, this is material.
So I have a, yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, he is familiar with with this material number. As soon as he see the material number, he can say that this is metal. So his request is he need to have an old material number in this field.
Okay, so what my question is, like old material number, is it the same that like in some production companies, right, when we are procuring some metallic parts or any electronic components part, so there is basically a manufacturing part number, right? That is common with so many vendors. Let's assume if we have 5 vendors, they do have their different material number as in our system and in their system, right? So is this old material number, can we say that this old material number is this equal to the manufacturing part number, or is it something different?
No, it is different. Let me explain you that.
Okay.
Example, you have your material number. Material number saying that you have 40. You call metal as 40 in your system. And vendor has his own system. In his system, he has defined that metal as 50. So this 50 number range will become your manufacturing part number. This is what the full form MPN is, manufacturer part number. What is the manufacturer part number? What is the vendor's part number? So this is your part number. This is your manufacturer part number. You will define this also in your system if it is required. In some cases, in some business cases, how they will define this? They will not be familiar with our material number, which is created in SAP. So they will be familiar with the material which is created by the vendor side. So if it is 50, then you understand, okay, this is metal. So that numbers will have an entry in manufacturing part number. We have another tab called manufacturing part number while creating a material itself. Let me check in which field we can see the material part number. So in that section, you can enter material part number there.
Okay, I got that, but what I assume that you, so what is the difference between old material number? I couldn't get it. What between old material number and the manufacturing part number? I get the same thing from both.
No, manufacturing part number is nothing but the vendor's part number.
Right, correct.
Clear? And for example, take you got an SAP project and you're going to implement an SAP in Vodafone.
Okay.
And he's already using Tally as a system. Now he want to convert the system to SAP. Right? In Vodafone, he has different materials. In Tally, the material numbers are 1, 3, 5, 8, 11, 13. Right? In SAP, now you're going to create all these materials in SAP now. Right? You're completely converting their data into SAP data now. Now you're going to create the materials in SAP. So in SAP, whenever you're creating a material, the number will be in the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 will become 1, your 3 will become 2, your 5 will become 3, your 8 will become 4, and 11 will become 5. So 13 will become 6. So these material numbers and these material numbers are different. So what your business will ask you, in my old system, I used to call metal as 3. Now in your system, you call metal as 2.
Okay.
So whenever I see 3, I'll understand that it is metal. So in our system, metal will be created as silicon.
Okay. So is it like that assigning some numbers to the things, right? Like in Tally, they used to assign these numbers to metal, and in SAP we are going sequentially, so we are assigning this number to.
You can call
right?
it you can call it as an assign, but you are not assigning directly. You are just mentioning the data in the system.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Venkatesh, if it is not possible, can we put the same numbers, whatever the Tally is using, can we convert the same numbers into SAP?
Yeah, that can be done. You have a concept called internal number ranges and external number ranges.
External number, hello, sorry. In external number ranges, we can assign our own number.
Yes.
So we can use as old number as our own numbers in external number ranges.
Yes, there is a concept called internal number range and external number range. Internal number range is nothing but system is suggesting you the number, and external number range is nothing but you can enter the material number manually. In that case, if you have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 13 in vendor system, sorry, in Tally system, the same material codes can be created using codes can be created in SAP also. But you need to maintain the external number range and create. But system will not suggest that, because in the basic scenario or business scenario, what we do is if we create a material, create 5, the internal numbers which are 2 and 4 you cannot create it again. So that will get obsoleted. So, and let me take other scenario also. In that you have a Tally system which vendor is using, and in Tally system he has some random number range. Sorry, in random name. For example, if he has raw 4, 5, 6 and raw 8, 5, 6. So these cannot be created in SAP system. If you create it randomly, you can create it randomly, but it will face an issue while creating other materials. For example, what system will consider is system will consider you're going in number ranges with 1 to 99. So system, whenever you are asking system to fit the number ranges, it will get fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you have the external number ranges of A to Z, then you can enter your own details here, right? But business will say that I don't want to use this number. I want to use the SAP number itself, but I want to see this number in the system. In that case, you will use the old material number.
It means that we are just mentioning the old numbers. That's all, right?
Just you are mentioning the numbers of your old system numbers here for the reference.
Can we inform this directly to the client? When we have the meeting with the client, we can inform them saying that will not be, as per the SAP standards, we are not going to use this, and we can explain them with this.
Yeah, whenever the meeting happens between the SAP consultants and the client, you need to discuss all these points with the clients and take the approval from them.
Sir, can we create a different industry sector? You know, there are a lot of industry sectors. You know that.
That can be created. We'll create it tomorrow.
Okay, now while you are explaining, I thought you missed that. That was
No, we can create the industry sector on our own also.
okay, sir.
Hi Venkatesh, Chirant here.
Yes, Chirant.
What is the use of purchasing value key?
Purchasing value key.
Yeah.
The purchasing value key, you can say that system, I want, for example, you are placing a PO to the vendor, and the vendor is saying, when in 30 days he need to supply the material. So you can have a reminder sent to the vendors. For example, you can send the for 10 days once you can send the reminder. That is one use of the purchasing value key, and the other use of the purchasing value key is the tolerance. Let me explain what is tolerance. For example, you have tolerance. In normal language, what is tolerance? Whenever you do the quality check, you will see plus 0.5 or minus 0.5 as a tolerance. So, for example, whenever you're placing a PO of material M1 and you're placing it for 10 pieces. In some cases, think that vendor has supplied you 11 pieces. Or he has supplied 9 pieces. Let's speak about the scenario. If he has supplied 9 pieces, then you can do a partial GR, right?
Yeah.
And if he is supplying 11 pieces, you cannot invert that one piece which he has provided extra. So if you maintain this tolerance here and maintain the percentage of tolerance of 10% or 20% as tolerance here, so system will identify, okay, what is the 10% in 10 pieces? It's 1. So one piece I can invert more compared to the PO. So that tolerance you will be defining in the purchasing value key. See here under tolerance and over tolerance. You have under tolerance and over tolerance. If you mention 10% as a over tolerance, compared to the material quantity, 10% you can receive more in the system. That is the use of purchase value key.
Okay.
Hi Venkatesh, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Like in accounting, you said that valuation class and all. So I want to, in somewhere you also mentioned that we will be working with the tax thing.
Yes.
Yeah, if it is interstate or whatever, it depends whatever their conditions are. So I guess there is, do we also need to work on HSN things?
Yes. If it is an import and export, we have an option of import and export here. If you see international trade export, you have a CAS number.
Okay.
It's nothing but your HSN code.
So it's
no, this is not HSN code. This is a control code. Control code is an HSN
control
code.
code. Yeah. So
Yes.
basically, this HSN and control code is what we say is unique for every kind of material. It is based on the kind of material, right?
No, it is kind different for different kinds of material. You will find different HSN codes. For example, if you are using furniture, it is 12% or 18%. Or if you are using electrical products, it is 12%. So it completely depends on the material to material.
So I have one doubt over here that sometimes if we are asked to change the control code or check whether whether it is correct or wrong. So sometimes what happens if system is not accepting the control code that is already mentioned over there. Okay. And if we try it with other different control code, it accepts and gets saved. So why does that happen? Like I want to say if for a diode, let's assume I have mentioned control code 423, okay? And for register, I have mentioned control code as 123. So when I got a query for control code that please check control code for register. So as per system, it should be 1, 2, 3, right? But when I'm what we say entering 1, 2, 3, it isn't accepted. It says that it is not enriched, or it says that it is not accepted or something. But when I try with the other control code, it says yes, it is accepted and gets saved.
Okay, let me explain you regarding the control code. Control code is an HSN code which is created under a country or region. As per your scenario, what is it? Is your HSN code is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the actual HSN code which you need to use. But whenever you enter 1, 2, 3, 4, it is not accepting. Whenever you use 2, 3, 4, 5, it is accepting. Right now, why this happens is your 1, 2, 3, 4 HSN code is not defined in your country or region. It should be defined in your IN and KA. Each and every state has its own percentage defined. HSN codes are same, but percentage is different. For example, my country is IN and my region is KA. So based on this country code and region, my HSN code is this. This code needs to be assigned to your country and region. Then only you can enter the country code here. If I try to fix some HSN code, what system is asking? It is asking for country or region code. Without entering anything, if I execute, system is giving only 3 HSN codes. If I see, the country is BR. It is not defined in India. So it should be defined in India. But if I enter this HSN code, system will accept. See here, entry IN, NVM1 does not exist. What it is saying, this HSN code NVM1 is not defined in the country IN, because you have created your plant and company code in the region and country of India, right? Your company you have created under India, but this HSN code is not defined in India, so it will not accept it. If you define the same HSN code in India, then it will accept.
Okay. Okay. So like if I then put it like 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the other number was, so it accepts. So it isn't any problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. You need to ask your finance guy to create 1, 2, 3, 4 in your country, India. After he creates 1, 2, 3, 4 in India region, then you need to enter the 1, 2, 3, 4 HSN code here, because each and every HSN code has its own uniqueness. So whenever you're buying metal, for metal it is 9%. So you need to enter the 9% HSN code here. If you search, if you just have a Google search for the HSN code, for each and every material you will have an HSN code, different HSN codes. If you look at HSN codes, you will find different HSN codes here. Go into images. You see here. You see here, these are the HSN codes. And there are many HSN codes listed in the system. There are nearly 400 to 500 HSN codes. So you need to ask your finance guy to define the HSN code first in India. Then you need to assign that HSN code in the material.
So this is a consultant job only, right? I mean, to do this HSN thing, or it is the end user one?
No, creating material or creating.
No, this HSN thing.
HSN will be created by the finance and controlling guy.
So only we can do the amendments. I mean, in MM02, whatever you told for the changing, right?
Just what is the use of HSN code for us is we need to use that HSN code in the while creating a material. We need to use that HSN code.
Okay, we need to basically define that thing when we are creating it in backend material when it is created, right?
Yes. HSN code will be created by finance guy. Using that code, we will create the material.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Venkatesh.
Yes, Basaraj.
Sir, I have one doubt. In price control, is standard average price, price and moving average price, right? But in end user will be enter the price value. In quotation price will be referred or not?
In quotation, it will be mentioned. If you have some, for example, in material master, you are defining the price as 100. That is your price which you are deciding for the material. You cannot decide what vendor is quoting the material. For the material, for example, you are defining that for material M1, my price is 100.
Okay.
And vendor is quoting the material for 120. So you need to buy for 120 only, you cannot buy for 100.
Yeah, in some before you will enter the material, some quotation is there.
In quotation, vendor will provide you 120. So you will place the PO for 120 only, not 100.
Okay.
Venkash, in control code, after updating that HSN number, no, in the same, in the PO also, the percentage of the tax will be reflecting, right? Based on this control code only, right?
We will define only for import and export purchase orders only.
Which this is control code. Sorry.
We will define a control code only in the import and export transactions.
Okay.
In import, and there is another export transaction also. I think I have not selected it. So we will find the export transaction also.
But in for domestic transaction also, we are using that HSN numbers, right?
No, that will be defined on the VAT. That will decide whenever you create a PO, that VAT will get affected based on the backend configuration of the finance, not based on the configuration of MM. The tax will be defined from backend based on the finance transaction, finance configuration. We will not do the configuration for the tax. Finance guy will do the configuration for the tax.
Okay, fine. But while creating the material code also, we need to update that HSN number, right?
Yeah, if it is an import or export, we'll update it. If you are sending this material outside the country, or we are getting this material inside the country, then we will upload the HSN code in the material. If you are doing a domestic transaction, we will enter the HSN code in the material.
For domestic, we are not supposed to enter.
No, in domestic, finance guy will look out for it. If it is an export or import, we need to just enter the HSN code in the material.
Hi Venkatesh, as you said right now that for domestic it doesn't need to be entered, right?
Yes.
So are we considering domestic like within state only, right? Because state has different districts and all, so not district, right? Only the interstate things. I mean different states.
It can be all over India.
Sorry?
It can be all over India. Let me show you one thing.
Okay.
For example, you are going to create a PO. In the PO, you will have the tax section. This is a PO. And in the PO section, you will have tax here. Tax code. This is a tax code. This is used for domestic. You will have different tax codes here. You will have nearly 5%, 8%, 9%, 18%, 12%, all will be defined by the finance guy. So whenever you create a PO, based on the vendor address, and whenever you go to the supplier, in supplier also you will define what is the tax for the supplier. Here you will have a tax data. Here under this section you will define what is the tax which vendor is putting on us. So you will mention the tax percentage here. This tax percentage is getting picked whenever you create a material. It will get picked here. So tax code is getting picked from the supplier to the PO, and how you're going to pay the tax to the vendor. You're going to pay the tax to the vendor through Myro. Whenever you are entering the invoice in the system, let me show you. Whenever you are entering an invoice in the system, you are putting the tax amount here, and you are mentioning what is the tax percentage. So in PO you will see the tax percentage. In the invoice, you will see the tax percentage, and in the vendor, you will see the tax percentage. Based on this, in domestic, you are paying the tax to the vendor. But whenever you are transferring the material to the outside the country, or you're getting the material from outside the country to the India, so the HSN code will come picture when you are doing export and import. Unless it is an export and import, you can manage with the tax code itself.
Okay. So I have one question. Like, if you said that these all things will be done once we have an proposal with the supplier, right? Once we agree
Yes.
the shipments and all, that is the sourcing part, right?
Yes.
In that thing, it will be done. So
Yes,
if yeah, so if sometimes if what we say supplier comes back that now our tax percentage has been changed or something like that, so we need to again go back to the finance guy and check with him, or can we do it on our own?
No, complete accounting transaction needs to be done by the finance guy.
We just need to enter the information, right? And then we can amend the PO, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Whenever there is a changes in the notification, in the GST percentage, no, the finance team will automatically upload those things in the SAP. Based on that only the percentage of taxes will reflect.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
But Venkatesh, for while creating the PO for service, we are updating the SAC code, right?
Yes.
But for material, no, but in the back end, from the material master only, the HSN number will be picked, right?
You see in the material master, in any of the field, you are not going to see the tax here.
No, tax will not, but HSN number should be there, no?
Yes, HSN number will be there, but HSN number will be there in your only two tabs. One is your import, one is your export. So whenever you place import, or whenever you place an export PO or import PO, at that time only the HSN code will come into picture. At that time only these views will get affected. Unless and that these views will not get affected.
Okay.
Complete purchase depends on the views. If you don't maintain the purchasing view, you cannot purchase that material. If you don't maintain the sales view for that material, you cannot sell that material. If you are not maintaining the plant data, you cannot store that material in that plant. Right? That is the difference of these views. That is the importance of these views.
Means for the domestic material code, the HSN number, those things are not required like that in the master level.
No. I cannot say like that. In our system, tax code are created in three ways. One is A0, M1, and B0. Whenever a finance guy creates this tax, whenever he is creating the tax, under this tax only he'll mention the HSN code. Under this tax code only he'll mention the HSN code and percentage of the tax. I cannot go inside this tax. If not, I would have shown how the tax is created.
Is there any separate session for this PO under taxation rule class?
So we will not go in deep with finance.
We have a GST session, right, Venkatesh?
Yes, GST session.
In GST, we will learn this HSN code.
So Venkatesh sir, so right now we are looking into material master views, right? Suppose if a business is required to add one more view like APO views and SNP views, sometimes we see in a business. So who will be creating that? Is it we or a basis, or who will be responsible of the creation?
ABAPR will do it, but
Okay.
our work is we provide how the data should look and how the data should get reflected from the backend. We are going to provide the information to the ABAPR. So based on our requirement, ABAPR will create that new views.
Okay.
There are some freshers also there now. Therefore, it will be confusing for them also. What are the HSN codes? They don't know. So is there any?
No, HSN code is a normal terminology which is used in the market now. Whenever you buy some material, are you going to pay the tax based on HSN? You're not paying based on HSN, right?
Yeah.
Only particular material, if you're going to buy the material for business purpose, then only the HSN code will come into picture. Unless and until that, you will not, HSN will not come into picture. HSN, you can understand what is HSN is. HSN is nothing but the tax percentage for different materials.
Yeah.
For each and every materials, you will have different HSN codes, and for each and every HSN code, you will have different percentage. If you want to have a look of the HSN, you can Google it once, so that you will have an idea what is HSN code and what are the different types of HSN codes in the system. This is completely a GST part. This is a completely finance transaction.
Sir, can we add or remove the fields when we after creation of this material? You know?
Okay, you have created this material. You want to remove this field, what material number? You want to remove this field. Yeah, that can be done.
No, not that field, sir. I mean here, like purchasing view, base data view.
Yeah,
that fields can we delete or add after creation of material?
Yeah, that can be done. You can hide the views to the configuration. For example, for raw material, you need only basic data, purchasing, plant data 1 and 2, and accounting data. You no need of using this WM packaging, and no need of using this import and export. So you can hide these tabs. That will come under a configuration part.
Oh, by any means, we forgot that the thing that plant data and storage location. We forgot to select that data, select that field, and we created a material. Then can we edit and can we add that field again to the material, sir?
Yes, that can be added. You can go to MM01 and put the same material which is created now, and click on enter. And for example, I want to extend it for. I want to expand it for international export and import. I'll select this. For the same material, I'm going to extend this views. I'm going to put the material plant here. I think sales organization is not created. Okay, something is created. Let me enter that. Okay, I'll go inside. So if you enter this data and go in, then you can add the views there.
Okay, sir.
Or you have other option to add the views for that. You can go to MM50. Transaction MM50. In that, you can select which view you want to add. You can select all the views will come here. Wait for a second, system is getting loaded. So these all are the views which we saw now. If you want to add MRP view for that material, select D as an MRP view and put your material here and click on execute. So it will extend it to the MRP view also. If you forget plan data, that can be done.
Okay, sir. Okay.
What is the advantage of SAP is whenever you forget to do anything, you can do it at any point of time. You can change at any point of time. If you forget to add some other views, that can be also added in the background.
Sir, could you explain again that the standard price selection, the standard price selection and average price, or division like?
Okay. Standard prices. If you are buying a material in a month, always you are buying it for 100 rupees only. The price is not getting changed. Then it is standard. If you are buying the material, same material, if you, for example, if you're creating a new material, that material you are buying it for different prices of different time. For example, on January you're going to buy for 100, and for February you're going for 150. On March you're going to buy for 120 rupees. So this is a moving average price. When this case will happen is when the market price is getting fluctuated. Market price is getting fluctuated. In most of the raw material scenarios, this price will get fluctuated. If you go and ask what is the metal price today, it will be 1,000 rupees or something. If you go and ask tomorrow, it will be 1,050. So on daily basis, the price of the metal will be changing. So you can consider this metal as a moving average price. So that what is the advantage of having standard and moving average prices? If you have standard price, system will always calculate the standard price, and it will provide you 100 rupees. You are buying the material in the PAI, in the purchase info record. Whenever you are purchasing something, all the information which you are purchasing will get saved in purchase info record. Now, in moving average price, you are buying it for 100, you are buying it for 115, and buying it for 120 and 130. So what system will do is, it will calculate the complete price here, and it will divide it by what is the purchase you have done. 4 times you have purchased, it will divide by 4. 1s are 1, 6, 116. Now 116 is your average price. So in PIR, in moving average price, in PIR, the price will be 160. In PIR, for standard, it will be 100 only. In PIR, for moving average price, it will be 160. There is a system calculation of standard and moving average.
Sir, could you explain it in the material creation in this software?
In material creation, I cannot show you, I cannot show you the calculation completely now because
it's okay, sir. But I just explain.
Okay, let me go to M03. In accounting view, let me select a plant. Here, you are going to select which price control you are using it. You are using standard or moving average price.
Okay.
If you're going to select standard, then you need to enter the standard price here. And if you're going to enter the moving average price, then you need to enter the moving average price.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hello, Venkatesh.
Yes, Suraj.
First of all, we will select a standard price. Then if you want to change to moving average price, can we change?
Yeah, you can do it.
We can change anytime, huh?
Yeah, you can change anytime.
Sir, but moving average price is automatically calculated, na?
Yes, it is automatically calculated by system.
Okay.
Hello.
Sir. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, if you
hello.
Then price will average price is calculated for 2 months. If we purchase more material for 5 to 6 months, suppose 6 months, then average price is calculated for 6 months.
Yes, it is calculated for 6 months.
But that price is vary from first month to 6 months, na? From starting month to last month.
Yeah, the price you have purchased 100 rupees for first month, 200 for second month, 300 for third month. If you're buying it for 6 months, so you, for example, your price is 100 for first month, 200 for second month, 300 for third month, 400 for fourth month, 500 for fifth month, or 600 for sixth month. Okay. Now how system will calculate is, this is your total purchase of the material. So what system does is, how many months you have purchased. It will not consider how many months you have purchased, how many times you have purchased. That is the system calculation. You have purchased 6 times. So system will divide the amount by 6 times.
Yeah.
Understood, right? 6, 10, 15, 18, 20, 21. It's 21.
But in last transaction, price may be up to 1200 rupees, less than 1200. Hello?
Yes.
In last month, there is price is 600. Okay. But as per as my moving price, average price, it may be 190 or 180.
Yes, for example, if you divide it for 6, it will show.
It will show approx 190.
No, it will not show. It will show 300.
Sorry. Yeah.
35 is a 350. 350 is your average price.
Okay. But my market price is 600.
Yeah, your market price is 600, but your system average price is 350 because for the first purchase you have done 100 rupees, for second purchase 200. So system will calculate based on this.
Okay. Thank you.
Based on this price, we must raise a PO, or we can edit this.
So you are going to raise the PO based on the vendor price.
Okay.
Based on the vendor's quotation, you are going to raise the PO.
This average price will be helpful for the who is doing the negotiation, those people, no? That will be useful for them.
Yeah, sir. How many times we buy the material, and it will be
Yes,
helpful in negotiation.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Don't have any questions, then Pramod, can you take over and close the session?
Okay, thank you, Venkatesh.
Hello, I have one question
Mhm.
regarding last session. Enterprise. Hi, Venkatesh.
Go ahead, go ahead.
In enterprise structure, can we edit purchase organization?
Yeah, you can edit. You can edit all the data which is created by you.
There is option called delete, but edit. Can you-
Let's say reference IMG, enterprise structure, and enterprise structure definition, and the logistics center. Here. This is a purchase organization. For example, let me pick this purchase organization. Let me pick my purchase organization. Also. Let me pick 2001. Let me pick this. Okay, if you click on this and double click on 2000. Okay, you just defined purchase organization. Okay, you just define the purchase organization, right? You are defining the number and the description. You can take it in the description here.
Already created purchase organization that number. If I want to edit,
You cannot change the number. If you want to change the number, delete the purchase organization which is created. Okay. Create the new entries. Once the number system has generated number, that number you can just delete. You cannot edit that number again.
Okay. Then, but purchase organization description that I cannot edit, right?
Yeah, description you can edit, but number you cannot edit.
So in enterprise structure, while we creating a plant, we was facing issue to the select the region, country code and region and calendar code.
As I said, whenever you are creating a plant, for example, let me create a plant now. Under logistic general, I'm going to create a plant. Let me define.
Second one.
Define the plant. Whenever you define the plant here, for example, let me put a new entry. 9. Number is created. 9 and 8. Okay. And I'll put the name here. And click on enter. Don't enter the country code and the city code here. Don't enter the factory calendar also here. Leave it blank as of now. And directly go to this address section and fill the address and then save. Okay, these are not yet defined in the system. Country code is not yet defined in the system. If you go to the country code, you see.
Yes, so that's the same problem we are facing.
Yes, it is not defined. We need to define it. When we get this scenario of using these entries, then we'll create this entries in the system. Then you can edit your plant based on that.
Is it commander or MME section or other else?
This commander?
Is it creating our country codes it's commander or IMM consultant section or other model?
Creating plant will be done by consultant only.
Plant not I'm not about taking about country code, sir. It's India is not there now.
Okay, country code will be created by finance guy.
Finance guy. Okay.
Hello, Venkatesh.
Yes, Vasanth.
After assigning the plant, how to check the data, sir?
After assigning the plant?
Plant data. How to check the plant data?
Plant data is for which it is assigned.
Yeah.
Now you can check in EC01.
Okay.
Go to EC01. And EC01, go to structure, navigation. Put your company code. Then you will see where your plant is assigned, for which company code it is assigned, what is the purchase organization assigned to the plant. Everything you can check here.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you, Venkatesh.
And thanks to
Okay, just one instruction. See, today many of you guys faced the issue in joining the class, right? So just I'll take over, Venkatesh, on your screen. Huh? Okay. So now you can able to see my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
See, this is, you have to install Zoom app in your laptop and make sure. See, there is an icon here. You have to sign in with your name and email ID in here. Then only you can allow, it will allow us to enter in our classroom. Why? Because
Plugged into Nirvana.
why? Because see, we have to allow the people who got registered and enrolled, right? So if I keep it open, anybody with that link can join the class like that. So we will register your email ID in our system so that it will read your email ID. Then only it will allow you people inside. So make sure you install this Zoom app and sign in with your email ID. Okay, if you once you sign in, then you can directly click that link and just register using your name and the same email ID. It will allow, and that is only for once. So we will manage same meeting ID throughout this level 1. So once you register and your Zoom signed in, then you will not face problem for any further classes. So I hope it is clear. So I will not give open link for the next class. You have to make sure your Zoom installed, you have signed in your Zoom, and then you register and come into the class. Okay. Fine then. So we will wrap for the day and we will meet tomorrow. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Venkatesh.